Judge cranks one. Deep left field. A grand slam.
Bases loaded. Hits the stand. Swung on. And drilled deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
Lost. You're not going to hit the ball. You're going to swing and miss. Now it's Chisholm. High drive. Right field. Goodbye.
Hello and welcome to the 12th Vinny Talks Yanks. I'm your host, Vincent LaRose, and today we'll get into a little bit of the last week for the Yankees, some of the good, the little bit of good we had, a lot of the bad that we had. So, past week, Yankees go 2-4 in their 6 games. They had Monday off. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in Detroit. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in Detroit. They had Thursday off. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in Detroit. They go 1-3. Game 1. I'm not even really gonna get into the games. 2-4 is not good. Obviously, I'm going on a weekly basis, so the situation always depends, but 2 of our last 7, I believe. 2 wins, so 2-5 in our last 7 games. Yankees haven't played well. So the pitching is an obvious issue. Coming to the season, as we all know, our pitching was supposed to be one of the most dominant in baseball, and now after injuries and after all sorts, it looks horrible. Marcus Stroman looks awful. Carrasco looks 40 years old. Fried looks good. Rodon continues to struggle with walks. Can just never get away from the big inning. Looks dominant and then falls apart either in the middle innings and finishes strong, or falls apart at the end until he's taken out. The pitching needs to be addressed. It's bad. Fried looks wonderful. The bullpen looks good enough. I mean, Devin Williams starts off shaky, but he's always started off shaky. So, not a huge worry of mine, but they need to go out and get somebody. I saw them trying to get Cease. Cease isn't going to happen. The Padres are good. Makes absolutely no sense to trade him. So, they're going to have to explore some other options. Thankfully, the one little bit of good news is Schmidt is back on the 16th. He's getting a start in Kansas City on Wednesday. So, he's looked very good in his rehab starts and his 2 AA, I believe 3 AA rehab starts. So looks good. I don't know if he even gave up an earned run, but that's AA. That's not the majors. So we'll see where it goes from here. We're still out Luis Hill until probably after the All-Star break. It just, it's tough to watch. The pitching is really, really tough to watch. Warren looked at least a little bit better his last start, but he still something doesn't feel right with him. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a struggle. We were really relying on our offense, and other than Saturday's game, scoring 8 runs, in the previous 6, I believe, we scored 4 in total. 5 or 6 games, 4 games, whatever it was. We scored 4 runs in about 5 games, batting 190. Us not getting a third baseman is looking to be. It looks really bad now. It looks like we just look like an absolute struggle. Again, there is some bright spots. Thankfully, Aaron Judge continues to just be a monster. Not hitting home runs, but still hitting at a high average and getting on base, which is home runs are nice, but he continues to get on base. Unfortunately, now we don't have Juan Soto, as you know. So having a guy like Cody Bellinger hitting behind Judge, going 2 for his last 22, looks horrible. Granted, yesterday he had 2 hits, but today was another 0-for. So it just, something's got to change. Something has to come around for this team. Thankfully, again, we're getting a little warmer. Jazz Chisholm looked awful this week, going 0 for 22. Last hit was Sunday. Thankfully, he got 1 today, hitting a home run. hopefully that starts something as the weather gets warmer here in New York, and then hopefully around the country starts to help him a little bit more. But it's just, it was like he looked like a lost cause at the plate. So one home run doesn't change anything for me. So hopefully we can see that and see him continue to improve and whatnot. Dominguez was on an 0 for 13 stint yesterday. He had a single. Today I believe hit a double. He's looking a little bit better, looking to come up. But still, it's just too many guys were in just a little bit of a slump this week. Weren't able to win some games, and unfortunately, that's how baseball goes sometimes. Sometimes I'm not super worried. 8-7 is not great to start the year, especially for a team that wants to win the American League and eventually go back to a World Series. But it's a long season. There's a lot of time for everybody to change. So we're hoping they could do so. Other key factors, Volpe. My last week's episode, I'm sitting here saying he's going to be an all-star this year, and then he looks absolutely horrendous this week. I don't believe if there was a hit, it was maybe one or two, and he had some walks in there, so not horrible, but was hitting almost 350 at the end of last week, and now we come in and he's hitting sub 240. So, it's a tough look. Ben Rice continues to mash the ball, so that's really nice to see. And other than that, everybody else is just, Paul Goldschmidt continues to mash, so that's good. It's a good guy. I know Boone wants to go this lefty-righty thing, but, I wouldn't mind seeing Goldschmidt get behind Judge a couple games. Just you got to give the guy who's hot behind Judge, man. You have to, because nobody's pitching to him. He doesn't even have the opportunity to swing the bat half the time. I know he struck out to lose the game today, but that first slider call was atrocious. The ball was almost at his ankles. So, I know you can't let one call determine the at-bat, but still, it's something has got to change. We got to move the lineup around a little bit. I know dropping Jazz down a little bit in his struggles, but doesn't look right. Cabrera continues to hit lefties and play good third base, so that's that. I'm sorry, Peraza, and then Cabrera. He's still gonna be. We know what we're gonna get out of those two. We're not expecting those guys to hit more than 250, and they play good defense, and that's pretty much what we want. You're not gonna get much more out of them. So it's gonna be tough. I don't know where they decide to go from here, truthfully. It's so early in the season, it's really tough. You can't trade for anybody yet, and I doubt many teams will agree to trade for much people yet, because everybody's still technically in it in some sorts, maybe other than like the Rockies, but I'm hoping come next week, we have I believe we play 10 games in a row after today, something up to that point, I believe. I may be wrong, but we have a long stretch of games in a row. We're gonna see a lot of guys get days off. You're gonna see Judge get a couple off days, or probably one or two off days. So we'll see how they mix their lineup around and move it around. But something's got to click. Again, we're getting to the warmer days, so hopefully today. Jung-Hoo Lee just beat us this series. Game 3 should have been ours. 2 bad pitches to him, and we're down 4-3. We end up scoring 4, but after a Goldschmidt error, they get another run. It's just not everything. Just everything went wrong. So again, we'll see how it continues to go, but it's a rough topic. Not much to talk about other than just disappointment at this point. 8-7 is definitely not the start we like to see this team get off to, and we want to continue to see them grow. But it's just tough, man. It's tough. Let's get into a little more of the brighter side of it, though. I want to talk about Ben Rice. Ben Rice, today I know it was an 0 for, or no, I lied. He actually had an RBI single. So Ben Rice continues to hit the ball well. Continues to get on base, continues to take his walks, continues to hit the ball hard. So you're gonna put the Yankees in a little bit of a peculiar spot. Coming soon. As Stanton is nearing return, as they say today, he's continued to hit off the projection pitching, and he's starting to run outside and stuff, and they're starting to find a day for him to start a rehab. So it's probably going to be more towards the end of May. So you still got a solid month and a half before you need to make a decision like this. And anything can change in a month and a half. And one guy can get Goldschmidt gets hurt, and then you got Rice at first. Whatever happens, but he's looking. There's no way you can get him off this roster, and there's no way you can take him out the lineup. Truthfully, I don't care if it's a lefty, whatever. I mean, he looks great. So I want to continue to see him in the lineup. And again, he's another guy. It's like if you want to keep that lefty righty mix up, throw Goldschmidt at the leadoff, have Rice hit behind Judge, get Judge some sort of protection. They're just gonna keep pitching around him. I mean, he's obviously not gonna fall off. He's not, unless he gets injured. Judge is just a different breed of baseball player. He's one of the best to ever live. He's going to continue to be one of the best to ever live. I know he got a late start in his career. He starts 2 seasons earlier and finds it earlier. He's even better. I mean, it's just Judge has continued to improve over his career. He's not gotten worse. I know the playoffs is a whole different animal, but Aaron Judge is just a different breed of baseball player. Nobody is going to attack him. Okay, maybe the Red Sox. I know in the past, Alex Cora's been like, nope, we're going right after him. It doesn't matter. Cool. That's one of the other 29 teams. You have to give him protection, and you have to make sure people in front of him get on base. So I understand the Rice hitting in front of him. Maybe Goldie. Those two need to surround him right now. You gotta put the hot guys around Judge, because if you continue to do that, he's gonna get more pitches to hit. And we're gonna get more home runs, and we're gonna score more. That's just how Judge is. So I don't understand the construction of a lineup right now. Like, you have Judge 2-3, 2-3, 2-3 back and forth. Yeah, I know you want to surround him by Cody Bellinger, but Cody Bellinger is not hitting. He's not hitting. Cool, he got 2 hits Saturday night. I mean, I understand he has some setbacks with the back problems and the food poisoning, but you need to put the hot hitters around Judge. If you don't put the hot hitters around Judge, Judge is going to get pitched around every single time, and nobody's going to pitch to him, okay? Nobody will. It's dumb. Why would you? He's going to continue to hit home runs and continue to be an absolute tear as a hitter. I don't get it. I seriously don't understand the thought process behind not surrounding him with the best hitters you have in that lineup. We already have slim pickings with this lineup, all right? I know the bottom half of the lineup started off hot this year, but like, you're surrounding him by Chisholm, and you're surrounding him by 2. I get it. You want to make the lefty. You want to go right left. I know we have a lot of lefties in this lineup. I don't care if Judge and Goldschmidt hit back to back. It doesn't matter to me, because Judge and Goldschmidt have proven to you they're going to hit no matter what to start the season. And same thing with Rice. Surround those 3 together. Please surround those 3 together. I'm tired of seeing Judge is getting pitched around. Yeah, single here, single there, but he's getting nothing to hit. All right? And you have to understand, as a baseball player, he's getting nothing to hit. He gets 1 pitch maybe every 10 at-bats, and he misses it. It's like, okay, he missed it. He hasn't seen a pitch to hit in 10 at-bats. We need to continue to surround him behind guys. That's why having Soto was such a luxury. It helped Soto. It made Soto better. It boosted his stats, because he's getting shit to hit, because he has one of the best hitters in baseball behind him. I mean, I've been an advocate for, like, I don't think Boone is the problem. Okay? Look, I understand, like, even in MLB The Show, I try to go lefty-righty, 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 lefty-righty. But that's a video game. This is real life. And it's getting brutal to watch him just get pitched around. And then, every occasion he gets his strikeout, But every single game, it's like, oh, it's the 9th inning. How does Judge only have 2 at-bats? Oh, he was walked twice, because nobody pitched to him. He has a walk almost the last 6 games. I think he has a walk every single game. His on-base percentage is almost 500. You need to put people around him to where, granted, are they probably still going to try a little bit better to hit around Judge and to pitch around Judge? Alright, sorry about that. Dog's going a little nuts. But, yeah. As I was just to recap, as I was saying, like, you got to surround Judge with the hottest hitters we got. It doesn't matter if It doesn't matter who's hitting well. If Cody starts hitting well, then you put him behind or in front of Judge. But you can't. You got right now. It's Rice and Goldschmidt, and my personal thinking is you got to put the two best hitters right, sandwich Judge in between them, because the guy before them, they're not going to want to give anything to hit, and they're not going to want to walk. So they're gonna get opportunities to hit, and the guy behind him, then they're gonna want to pitch to Judge because they know, hey, Goldschmidt has been hot. I don't want to pitch to walk Judge to then Goldschmidt hit a single or hit a home run, a double, whatever he decides to do. He only has 1 home run or 2 home runs on the season, but still, just use some sort of strategy because our lineup is very obviously not that deep. Okay, the first week really kind of put us, I think, into like putting the Yankees organization into like La La Land. Like, oh, okay, so these guys are good. We don't have to worry about them. We'll be fine. And then 1 week later, it's like, oh, okay, that was just a hot week, and everybody but Judge, Goldschmidt, and Rice has almost fallen off the planet. None of them can hit the ball now. So those are my concerns. On the hitting side at least. So let's get more in depth to the pitching side of it. Yeah, the pitching's bad. I believe we have a over 7 ERA when Max Fried is not on the mound. It looks rough. Marcus Stroman had one of the worst starts I've ever watched in my entire life. He looked awful. He looked like he didn't know what he was doing. Granted, he was immediately put on the 15-day IL with knee inflammation. It's his landing knee. They said when they went back, and I watched it as well, he obviously was landing a little bit different. It seemed like he was cottering for that knee. Catering the knee, not cottering. So, yeah. But it was still bad, and we still lost because of it. We only scored 1 run. We lost 9-1. So, yes, is our offensive problem as well? Yeah, but, it was a cold night, and they had our number that night. I mean, he looked horrendous. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about him anymore, because it was like, oh, good, everybody's hurt. Stroman's your 5. Heel goes down. All right, Stroman's your 5. Then Cole goes down. You're like, all right. Showman's your 4. You have Schmidt at 4. You have Schmidt at 3. You're not super upset about that. Warren at 5. Then Schmidt goes down, and you got 3 of your top 4 starters go down before the season even starts. And now you're sitting there like, wow, Marcus Stroman is our 3. We're screwed. I mean, Marcus Stroman has been horrendous. It's just not been good for the Yankees since signing him. I remember when we signed him, it was like, wow, he took a pay cut for leaving from the Cubs, and he really wasn't that bad for the Cubs. Now the contract looks awful. All this extra money we're paying is for him. It looks bad. And comes again from one of my videos that started all this, where I asked, was Marcus Stroman a problem? At the time I didn't think so much of it, and now I really do think he's a problem. We're paying a lot of money for somebody to be extremely subpar. I mean, not even, it's just so bad. Watching him pitch angers me. He relies on the umpire to call strikes out of the zone. It's a rough watch now, and knowing how much you're paying him to do so is tough. It's tough, I want to root for the guy, I really do. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's a little misunderstood in a way, and it's tough to watch him pitch. And, I hope he comes off the IL, bounces back, and, shuts me up, which is, I think, at everybody, please shut me up. Please, I don't want to complain about you. I want to sit here and go, Marcus Stroman is everything we could want and could ask for, and I have no complaints about him. He's pitching well, but he's not. So you're going to complain about him. You're going to be upset that the Yankees continued on with that contract. Granted, did anybody else probably want it? Probably not. They probably wanted a prospect attached to him, which is probably something Yankees didn't want to do. But, we'll see. So, moving forward with the rotation, so the rotation for now will still be Fried at the 1. Rodon will be at your 2. You're going to have Schmidt at your 3, likely. I think Schmidt plops into the 3. You have Warren at your 4 and Carrasco at your 5. So, again, it's tough that Will Warren is your 4 starter, essentially. This is 100% not a postseason rotation, Rodon's not even pitching good. You have one guy. One guy. We don't need to trade for one. We need like 2 more starters. We got to trade for at least 2 more people. And hopefully he comes back and he's as much as he was last year, but that's not a guarantee. We're in a really bad spot pitching wise now. The bullpen, again, like I said, I'm not super worried about the bullpen. The bullpen actually really doesn't look that bad. They haven't given up that many runs. They've just been put in bad spots, and getting Hamilton back. Hamilton didn't look great today, but his first outing, he didn't look too awful. Just getting guys back into the swing of things, just like Williams. I know Williams always starts off slow, and then he missed a week on paternity. Him having his son. So I'm not super anxious about the bullpen as much as I am as the starting pitching in the lineup. But that's a team. That's your team right there. Your starting pitching in your lineup. That's your whole team. Not your whole team, but that's three quarters of your team comes from that, and it's just 3/4 of our team. Half of our team looks bad. So it's rough. Again, one week you're happy, and the next week you're upset. It's baseball, unfortunately. This is my third podcast into the season. First week where I'm ecstatic. This team looks great. Second week it's half 50-50. They look good, but they have some problems that they need to address. Going 3-3. Not the end of the world, but not the greatest. And then you come on to this week. So you go on from the sweep to 3-3 to 2-4. So we got 7 games next week. So we need to win 5. But the Royals are a good team. I want to check the schedule because I'm sorry, it's the Rays. I think it's the Royals 3, Rays 4, if I'm not mistaken. I'll check real quick. But those are 2, the Rays aren't what they used to be, but those are still 2 good teams, and you want to continue playing above 500 baseball, which to this point we have. We're 8-7. Is it great? No. But I mean, it's enough, and it just needs to get better, man. If we go 8-6, we'll be in the playoffs. We're just gonna be, we probably win our division. Our division isn't great. I don't know why this isn't loading, but again, it needs to get better. I don't really know how else to put it. Why is this shit not loading? I'm gonna get annoyed now. But again, it needs to get better. Okay, the MLB app is just not loading right now, for whatever reason. But let me figure this shit out, and the 21st is that Sunday? Monday. Okay, so it's a 3-game set against the Royals, and then 4 games against Tampa, in Tampa, or at our second home. So a little bit of preview. Obviously, as we all know, Yankees Royals were a playoff matchup last season. It went to 4 games. Did we beat them 3-1? Was it yeah, we beat them 3-1 in the division series, and then we ended up moving up to Cleveland. But the Royals are a good team. I haven't kept up with them, but the whole week is gonna be we need to play well. Okay, last year was a struggle in division play, and with the Rays, we need to change that this season because you play your division more than anything else. They need to go in, forget what happened the past week. Just write it off. We're getting into some warmer weather. Players will be more comfortable. I know Jazz was saying he has a really hard time in the warm weather. I know cold weather. I know Peraza has a hard time in the cold. Jesus, I did it twice in the cold weather. I'm just hoping it continues to get better and continues to grow a little bit. With that being said, hitting becomes more prominent in warm weather, and I'm worried because our pitching has been awful in the cold weather, and we haven't played a game in above fucking 60-degree weather. So I don't want to see, yeah, our hitting starts to get better, but then our pitching starts to get even worse. And if that's the case, weather isn't everything. But I'm just throwing that factor out there. It's like, oh well, warm weather is coming. It's cool. That means both sides are going to hit better, not just one. So many different scenarios I could play out, but hopefully we can move on to this at least 4-3. Just stay above 500. Get a couple games up above 500. Get into a hot streak. Start playing better baseball. And yeah, I mean the fundamentals are good. We're not making crazy mistakes other than pitchers walking everybody, but we're not making crazy mistakes. We just can't stay away from the big inning. Our problem is a lot of our starting pitchers pitch good 3-4 innings. In either they fold in the first, pitch 4 good innings, and then they're done, or they pitch 4 good innings and they fold in the 5th or 6th. It just needs to get a little bit better. I know we got free tomorrow, so a little more. We do have free tomorrow. Let me just make sure. Hopefully the MLB app will actually load this time. But so, all right, let's see. Oh, I lied. I'm sorry. We have Carrasco tomorrow against Seth Lugo. Seth Lugo looks good again. It's gonna be another tough one, man. Is it in the stadium? It is in Yankee Stadium. We got another 3 in Yankee Stadium. We need to win 2 out of 3. We got to start off tomorrow hot, start good, play well. I know we have Carrasco on the mound, so that's a little bit of a mission. But if he can at least get us to 5 sub 3 runs, 3 or less runs, we need to score more runs. We don't have a pitching staff that's going to hold us to no runs to 5, no runs to 6, to 1 or 2 runs. It's just not going to happen. All right, we've seen it this season. If it's not Fried on the mound, it's atrocious. So lineup needs to start off hot. I'm hoping they'll make some lineup moves. They probably won't, knowing Aaron Boone, but that's all I got though. So hopefully next Sunday, when I turn this camera on and I start talking, it's a little bit better of a we're a little bit more happy, but you never know. It's baseball, so we can go 0-7 for all I know. Yeah, I hope not. Anyways, thank you for listening or watching on the YouTube side. Any comments or questions, leave them below. I enjoy reading anything anybody has to say, good or bad. Doesn't bother me. So, thank you for listening, and I hope everybody has a wonderful night.